welcome to my 2-month postpartum update. In some ways, I can't believe it's been 2 months, and in other ways, it feels like a lifetime ago that I had a baby, and just the whole traumatic experience of everything just feels so far away, which is great because it was a real challenge to kind of work through those first few weeks, just the emotions and the pains and just all the appointments and just coping with what happened. Just a little backstory for those of you who are new and maybe don't know what happened. My husband and I were planning an all-natural water birth at a birth center, and then 39 weeks pregnant, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia, and that birth plan kind of went out the window. I was admitted into the labor and delivery at the hospital where they started the induction process. I was in bed. I wasn't allowed to get up or move. 48 hours, 5 hours of pushing, 48 hours of labor, 5 hours of pushing, and finally my baby boy was born, but he had the cord wrapped around his neck 3 times, really tight, and he was not breathing, so they had to intubate him, and he spent the next several days in the NICU. Meanwhile, I hemorrhaged. I lost half of my blood. I then was released from the hospital 2 days later, only to be readmitted into the hospital the next day for a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot in your lung. So I had quite the traumatic experience with just my health and with baby's health. I've had so many appointments. I have not gone one single week since coming home from the hospital without some sort of doctor's appointment for either me or the baby. I've always had at least one appointment every week, and then the baby sometimes will have one as well. He's completely healthy, but he just has regular checkups. I'm still going to the anticoagulation clinic to have my INR checked, which is the thinness of my blood. It has to stay within therapeutic range. It took them a really long time to figure out what my warfarin dosage would be, which is the name of the blood thinner. Finally, they have it down, so it's actually a different dose. I don't take the same dose every day. It kind of changes. But that's just what my body needed. Some days I need a higher dose, some days I need a lower dose. And so it's a lot to keep up with. A lot has happened in the last week. I'm not sure how much of this I've shared, but we kind of came to the decision that we are not having any more children. After everything that I went through, the risks just seemed to be too much. I just knew that I wouldn't be able to cope with something like that happening again, and we both were like, no way, not gonna do it. I cannot go through anything like that again. But I actually just met with a hematologist, which is a blood specialist, and he said that he thinks that I should have kids if I want them. He doesn't think that because I got a blood clot that should stop me from having more children if I want to. He said obviously there is an increased risk to get a blood clot again, but even if I don't get pregnant, I still have a risk of getting a blood clot again, just because once you get it once, you're just at a greater risk. He said the blood clot was small, and he says it is attributed to pregnancy. They ran all kinds of tests to see if there's any underlying things that could have caused this blood clot, and there's not. All the tests came back negative, which is really good. So I have no blood clotting like mutations of any sort. I did test positive for one mutation. It's the MTHFR mutation, but he said that didn't have anything to do with why I got a blood clot. So he just thinks it was just from being pregnant, and then I was in bed for 2 days straight when I was in labor because of the preeclampsia and the high blood pressure. They did not want me elevating my blood pressure anymore. So the next time around, I'll just have to take some more precautions. If I do end up in bed again like that, I would need to have like leg compressions or some sort of thing to help prevent blood clots. They might put me on a blood thinner during pregnancy or after pregnancy. Just kind of depends on how the pregnancy is going and things like that. So after finding out all that information, we haven't decided 100% yet, but we are leaning towards having another baby, which is really exciting for me because in the last week, all of a sudden, I was feeling extremely emotional about not having any more children. I thought I was fine with it. I thought I had made peace with the decision. But as Milo got bigger and started to grow, I really, really wanted to have another baby. I really want to have another baby. So it was great meeting with the hematologist. I made an appointment to go see a perinatologist. I think that's what it's called. It's basically like a high-risk OB doctor, and they will counsel me on like the preeclampsia part of everything. And so once I find out that information, we'll make our final decision on whether we're gonna have more kids or not. But I'm definitely leaning towards wanting another baby. I love being a mom so much. I absolutely love it. And you know, just 2 months postpartum, I'm like already ready to get pregnant again. I mean, I'm not ready to be pregnant right now, but I could see myself being pregnant in the next year for sure. And I think it's, you know, it was a terrible, terrible experience, but you know, in the end, I'm getting healthy, my baby's healthy, and there's definitely things that I would do differently in this next pregnancy, and I would take a lot more precautions, and I would have really close monitoring, but I'm feeling pretty comfortable with, you know, the risks. So that's kind of the big news for me as far as postpartum goes, that I could be having more kids, so that's exciting. As far as everything else is going, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling a lot better. I got my blood taken a couple weeks ago, and I'm not sure if I shared this, but my hematocrit and hemoglobin levels are all back to normal, which is great. My iron stores are almost back to normal, so I've weaned off on my iron dosage. And the warfarin that I'm taking for the blood clot, I only have 1 more month of that, and then I will be completely done. I won't be on any medication. I won't have to worry about all those doctor's appointments. It'll be so nice. So that is postpartum for me. Just still working on, you know, being healthy. It's the New Year's. I have some resolutions, and I will be sharing those in another video, so I don't want to spoil that. But I'm really excited going forward, just to be healthy and just to kind of be more aware about just you know, my body, and just signs to look for in case, you know, I do ever have any other health problems. So that's 2 months postpartum. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.